Double murder probe. A Windsor man arrested. A second Windsor suspect wanted in a Vaughn double homicide. Canada's opposition leader calls for an emergency debate.
And Mark Carney has created the only G7 economy in a recession. He is hiding from accountability.
As the economy slips into a technical recession.
The leader of the opposition should stop running down Canada and join us.
And stay Canada strong.
The Elbows Up campaign is still very relevant.
Cross-border traffic to the U.S. sees a slight uptick.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. One Windsor man has been arrested and police are searching for another in relation to a double homicide investigation in Vaughn. CTV's Sanjay Maru has the details for us.
York Regional Police have issued an arrest warrant for Gerard Murray, who is wanted on 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of arson causing property damage. Investigators have not been able to locate the 48-year-old, but say he is known to frequent southwestern Ontario between Windsor and the Greater Toronto area. At 5:30 p.m. on May 13th, police were called to a home in Vaughn for a report of shots fired. Upon arrival, officers found 2 men outside the home suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Both men succumbed to their injuries. While police were on scene, additional officers were dispatched to reports of an abandoned and torched blue SUV. Investigators have confirmed the SUV was used by the suspects leading up to and following the shooting. The vehicle was reported stolen from Toronto. On May 28th, a search warrant is executed at a Toronto home. Officers confiscating a loaded firearm and materials believed to be used in making explosives, including a detonator, a pipe, bolts, and tannerite. On the same day, search warrants were also executed in Windsor and Hamilton, where more firearms were found. 2 men were arrested. 55-year-old Glenn Musso of Windsor is facing charges in connection to the double homicide in Vaughn, including accessory after the fact, arson, and possessing a restricted firearm. A 27-year-old Toronto man is facing 7 charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and making or possessing an explosive substance. The investigation remains ongoing. Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
A Windsor taxi driver is recovering from serious injuries after what police describe as a violent vehicle theft Sunday night near Caesars Windsor. Investigators say a dispute over cab fare escalated when the suspect allegedly stole the taxi, striking the driver in the process before speeding away. Officers located the vehicle within 30 minutes and arrested a 58-year-old man who now faces robbery and dangerous driving charges. 11 people were forced from their homes on Sunday after fires spread and damaged 3 houses on the city's near west side. Fire crews were called to the 300 block of Bridge Avenue near University Avenue West late Sunday afternoon. Chief Fire Prevention Officer John Smith says the fire started outside the 2-story house and spread to 2 neighboring properties. Damage is estimated at $400,000 to the first home, with another $75,000 to a neighboring property to the south and $150,000 to one on the north. No injuries were reported. The cause is still under investigation. Summer travel season is coming on fast, but many Canadians are still thinking twice about heading across the border for a stateside visit. What do the numbers at Windsor's border crossing actually show? CTV's Travis Fortnum joins me now. Travis, and what have you been seeing from these reports?
Yeah, that's the big question, right, Stefanie? We saw Canadian travel to the U.S. drop last year amid tariffs, political tensions, and a weaker Canadian dollar. More than a year later, the latest numbers suggest people haven't fully returned to their old habits, but there are signs some of those trends may be starting to shift.
With summer travel season on the horizon, the latest numbers from Windsor's crossings suggest traffic is holding steady and in some cases moving higher. In April, more than 457,000 vehicles crossed the Ambassador Bridge in either direction, up nearly 9% from April of last year. The Detroit-Windsor Tunnel also saw an increase with more than 324,000 crossings, up about 6% year over year. The head of Windsor-Detroit Detroit Borderlink says many people are still choosing Canadian, even as some of the initial shock of the trade war begins to fade.
The Elbows Up campaign is still very relevant. The staycation that, Tourism Windsor, Essex Peely Island promotes. A lot of people are just choosing to stay here or to stay local.
Looking at the first 4 months of 2026 as a whole, the picture is a little more mixed. The Ambassador Bridge is down about 3% compared to the same point last year, but the tunnel is up about 2.5%, recording more than 1.24 million crossings through April. And Chudner says the gap between current traffic levels and the drops seen last year is continuing to narrow.
Last year, 2025, we were down around 5%. This year, we're only down around 1%, and we're even actually very close to our previous traffic.
And while it's passenger traffic that'll increase most this summer, the biggest shift right now continues to be on the commercial side. Sarnia's Blue Water Bridge beat the Ambassador last year as Canada's busiest commercial border crossing, and so far this year, it's holding on to that title. Through April, more than 652,000 commercial trucks use the Blue Water Bridge. That's about 22,000 more than the Ambassador Bridge. But an even bigger shakeup could be just around the corner. The Gordie Howe International Bridge is expected to fundamentally change traffic patterns across the region. With 3 international crossings soon competing for drivers and freight, Chudner says the tunnel is already preparing for a short-term dip once the new crossing opens.
We think the first month they open up, we'll see a 7% dip in passenger vehicle traffic. The following month, a 5% dip. After that, it really remains to be seen.
As for when the Gordie Howe International Bridge will finally open, your guess is as good as mine. The project's timeline was pushed from 2025 to spring of 2026, and with just weeks left in the season, there is still no opening date. We reached out to the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority today for an update, but no response by airtime.
It will be interesting to see that shift and those numbers change once the new bridge opens.
And what people opt for, right?
Exactly. Okay, and so that actually leads us to our question of the day. Once the Gordie Howe Bridge opens, will you still use the tunnel or the Ambassador Bridge? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. On Friday, we asked if local municipalities should allow the public to bring alcohol to outdoor community events. Out of almost 1,200 votes, 82% say no. CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joins me now for our first look at this gorgeous weather. Good evening, Julie.
Good evening. It's been absolutely beautiful. We've had a string of sunshine and dry conditions, and that weather pattern continues. Last hour, the temperature holding at 24. Chatham now 20 degrees and Sarnia 17. We will start to see the temperature dip in the next 30 minutes. It's going to get a bit cooler out there. So if you are heading out this evening, this time of year, this kind of air mass, the temperatures drop as soon as that sun sets, can get quite cool. So if you've had your windows open, of course, you'll notice that first thing in the morning. High pressure in play at the surface and in the upper atmosphere. We remain under this blocking pattern that holds as we head into tomorrow. Temperature 13 degrees at midnight, winds light out of the northeast. Coming up, I'll take you through the extended forecast. I know many of you thinking perhaps we have some showers on the way. We'll talk about the next opportunity for rain coming in over the next 7. Stefanie?
Okay, the health of Canada's economy is the subject of a hot debate among politicians today, with the Conservatives saying Mark Carney has plunged Canada into a, quote, liberal recession. As CTV's Abigail Beeman reports, new data Friday confirmed we are, in fact, in what's called a technical recession, but some economists are downplaying the significance of 2 consecutive quarters of falling GDP.
My work is done.
Mark Carney tries his hand at a home building site, but wasn't taking questions about a recession after Statistics Canada reported Friday Canada's economy contracted slightly for 2 straight quarters. Not from journalists nor opposition in the House of Commons.
While Canadians are starving, losing their jobs and missing mortgage payments, and Mark Carney has created the only G7 economy in a recession, he is hiding from accountability,
leaving other ministers to answer.
Canada is the most integrated country in the world with the United States. They have declared a trade war on us. This side of the House understands that. We will control what we can control.
The leader of the opposition should stop running down Canada and join us.
It's the Liberal Prime Minister that's running down our economy and then running away from accountability for it. Where is he anyway?
Conservatives are calling for an emergency debate on the recession, as Liberals don't seem to all be on the same page in terms of messaging.
I do know that people in my riding are hurting. So I listen to people who talk about housing prices. I listen to people talking about food prices and about incomes that are too low. And so that's what we're working on here.
Not. I'm not. All indications are that it's shallow and that we're coming out of it. I believe them.
Late this afternoon in the House, the Speaker decided against an emergency debate, saying he doesn't believe it meets the requirements. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada Post workers have voted overwhelmingly to accept a new 5-year contract, ending more than 2 years of labor unrest. The union, representing about 55,000 employees, says more than 85% backed the deal, which includes wage increases of 6.5% in the first year and 3% in the second. The contract follows a lengthy dispute between Canada Post and the union, which saw multiple job actions during bargaining. Canada Post CEO says he's pleased with the outcome, calling it a step towards restoring stability and confidence in the postal system. Meanwhile, a tentative agreement has been reached between North Star Aerospace and the union representing its workers. Unifor Local 444 says the deal was reached through negotiations late Sunday night, averting a midnight strike. Details will be presented to members at an upcoming ratification meeting, but no date has been set at this time. Work starts tonight on a major road project along the EC Row Expressway. Crews will begin overnight milling and paving between Central Avenue and Walker Road. The more than $5 million project also includes ramp work at Central, Howard, and Lozon. Work will run from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. through a noise bylaw exemption. The city says that schedule should help limit daytime traffic impacts. The project is expected to wrap up by late June or early July. More than a dozen people are sleeping in newly created affordable housing spaces. But as CTV's Robert Lothian reports, that's a drop in the bucket with a wait list that's thousands of names long.
From bare walls and beams in a former hospital office building to the halls of Windsor's newest affordable apartment building. Officials cutting the ribbon on the 19-unit Grace on Olette apartments Friday afternoon.
This is another step in helping to deal with the housing and homelessness issue that we see happening in our community.
The more than $4.5 million build was largely covered by provincial and federal grants, with Hotel du Grace Healthcare selling the building to the Windsor Essex Community Housing Corporation at a discounted rate. The mix of studio and one-bedroom apartments feature bathrooms and a kitchen.
We're talking about 19 individuals and families who previously were finding it challenging to access affordable housing, now can access affordable housing.
15 of the units are already in use. The rest are being reserved for those receiving care at Windsor's Heart Hub. It allows them to transition into the community while still getting the support they need.
It just really completes the wraparound supports of what the Heart Hub is meant to accomplish, and helps people get settled and starting out in being more independent.
The need for affordable housing in Windsor Essex continues to outpace the supply. According to the Housing Corporation, more than 7,000 people sit on the wait list.
Let's not always get bogged down by the big challenges we have. Let's focus on the small things that we can do every single day that lead to big change, and this is one of those steps in that direction.
Costante says the Housing Corporation is always looking at new opportunities for affordable housing, adding this building will be full in the coming weeks. Robert Lothian, CTV News, Windsor.
The province says it will not support a safer supply or supervised consumption component in the proposed Village at the Barn project in downtown Windsor. The plan would transform the former Windsor Arena into an indoor village to house and support people experiencing homelessness, mental health, or addiction issues. And it includes a safer use space for residents. Windsor-Tecumseh MPP Andrew Dowie tells AMA 100 the province prefers a recovery-based model, pointing to Heart support hubs that focus on treatment and wraparound supports. Dowie argues transitional housing should help people move away from addiction, not accommodate ongoing drug use. He points to local data he says shows overdoses rose while SafePoint was in operation and declined after its closure. Dowie says the province remains open to funding the broader housing plan, but wants a clear request from the City of Windsor.
What I've had relayed back to the mayor, and I think he's been public in saying it, is I just need to know what the ask is. What would you like the province to do?
The future of Windsor's fenced-off Sandpoint Beach could be one step closer to becoming clear. The City of Windsor has received a report from the Life-Saving Society of Canada, but officials are keeping the details under wraps while administration reviews the findings. Here's CTV's Bob Belichico.
You can't keep the fence up.
Speaking on behalf of the residents in his ward, Councillor Angelo Marignani says the fence is an eyesore.
They are currently not very happy with the current state of it, with the fence blocking off the Sandpoint Beach area.
June 9th, 2025, almost a year ago, the beach was shut down. It was fenced off a week later, shortly after a 15-year-old drowned. Last July, Ontario's Office of the Chief Coroner recommended the city conduct a safety audit. That safety audit is now done and back in the hands of the city.
Without getting into the details of the report, certainly the challenge for administration is to identify risk that's involved and how to minimize risk and balance that with people who want to access the water.
The fencing here at Sandpoint Beach isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Now, according to Chandler, a report will be presented to Council on June 29th.
I don't think that there was anything in the report that was unusual or stood out to administration. I think that we certainly expected a lot of the information that came forward.
Marignani says the report could help the city move forward. Money has already been earmarked for a splash pad. The question for council is, can a splash pad be built at the same time as the break wall?
Can we do that right here and now and still put in the break wall without slowing down that process of actually completing the Sandpoint Beach master plan? Let's get everything straight and let's move forward on this gem that everyone loves.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
We want to hear from you. Do you have a comment or question, an idea for a great story? Text us at 10400. You can also send photos and video. Food bank demand is up and advocates are pointing to gaps in unemployment insurance. That's still ahead on Windsor's News Leader. Forget the U.S. Canada is looking overseas, signing a new automotive parts partnership with South Korea. And tomorrow, Canada's fight against nicotine is hitting a roadblock with ambitious targets looming. Why has progress stalled? The answers tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. More and more Canadians are depending on food banks to feed their families. And now a national organization representing food banks is calling for big changes and a major rethink of the system. CTV's Garrett Berry explains.
Stocking these shelves and keeping them full has suddenly become a difficult task for Leslie Burgess and her staff at this downtown St. John's food bank.
We're running out of supplies before the end of the week, whereas, we used to be able to plan, and there's really no way to plan anymore.
Things were pretty stable last year, but now demand has jumped 20% compared to last spring.
It seems like we're every day in an emergency situation.
And at this food bank, like so many others across the country, when demand goes up, donations go down.
Working families are feeling the pinch, donating less and now needing more.
Because their rent is too high and groceries are too expensive and now gas is too expensive.
Not just here, but across the country. That's part of the reason why Food Banks Canada is renewing its call for big changes to the employment insurance program.
We're seeing more people with part-time, casual, or precarious jobs who are struggling to make ends meet, access our services, and they're not covered by the current system.
Gig workers like Uber Eats drivers are falling through the cracks. That's according to Richard Matern, research director at Food Banks Canada, who says payments should be raised and it should be easier for gig and part-time workers to qualify.
We are seeing many people with full-time work as well who are contending with the rising costs of living because their wages aren't rising fast enough.
More benefits for workers would surely help here in St. John's. Leslie Burgess says many of her clients are right now holding on until the first part of the new grocery and essentials benefit comes through on Friday. Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
As the country grapples with punishing U.S. tariffs on several sectors, we are learning of the new partnership announced by the Canadian Automotive Parts Manufacturing Association and South Korea. CTV's Judy Trin is following this story for us.
A united front to announce a new partner in a plan to strengthen the auto sector.
How Canada's auto sector can pivot.
The diversification plan now includes using Ontario steel to manufacture Hanwha's Howitzer K9 and other vehicles in Canada. The South Korean defense company has thousands of orders from 6 NATO countries for these armored vehicles. Making them in Canada could be an important lifeline for the hard-hit industry.
The economic activity that comes from that deal for automotive is the equivalent of one new car plant here. And so what that means is probably 15,000 direct jobs.
The steel in the vehicles will come from Sault Ste. Marie's Algoma Steel, where about 1,000 people have been laid off.
We are the only steel producer in Canada that can make ballistic-grade steel for defense applications. It's a great opportunity to be part of a consortium.
But it's all contingent on Hanwha winning the massive bid to build Canada's fleet of 12 new diesel-electric submarines. Last month, the South Koreans sailed the KSS-3 to Victoria to show it off. The submarine, built by German competitor TKMS, is still under construction. But Germany is trying to make waves in other ways.
The program creates and sustains more than 650,000 jobs over the next years. The impact on the GDP will amount to 86 billion Canadian dollars.
As the economic promises increase, the government is hesitating but not ruling out splitting the procurement.
I don't know if you can categorize, Judy, the safe decision being splitting this down the middle. I think what we're looking at here is making sure that we have a fleet that is interoperable.
Both the South Koreans and the Germans are offering significant industrial benefits. The Prime Minister says he'll make his decision before the end of June, just before the July 1st deadline for reviewing the Canada-US-Mexico Free Trade Agreement. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now, the ongoing trade war with the U.S. has pushed Canada into a closer relationship with its European allies, as you just heard. It's an appearance on CTV's Question Period. The Prime Minister of Sweden was asked about Canada joining the EU.
It's not for me to say, but the European Union is a very welcoming club for like-minded.
Ottawa is about to enter negotiations to purchase an aerial surveillance system developed in Sweden. Canada is also considering the purchase of new fighter jets from the Swedish manufacturer Saab. Ahead of the FIFA World Cup, which kicks off next week, Toronto police say they have seized a large number of counterfeit soccer jerseys. Police say it's the largest seizure of counterfeit soccer jerseys in Canadian history. And Canada's men's national team will take to the field tonight in Edmonton for a match against Uzbekistan in one of its final tune-ups ahead of the tournament. CTV's Kathy Lee is in Edmonton, where the rain is coming down today, though it's not stopping the fans.
I spoke to a super fan earlier today who says despite the rain, tens of thousands of soccer fans in their ponchos will pack Commonwealth Stadium tonight. Larry Zima will be among the more than 46,000 ticket holders cheering for Canada. He says this isn't the first time fans have had to deal with poor weather at a World Cup-related game here. The last time the stadium hosted a national men's team game was the November 2021 World Cup qualifier when Canada defeated Mexico 2-1 in very snowy conditions, earning Commonwealth Stadium the nickname Azteca. The capacity for the stadium is 54,000, and Zima says the rain may deter a sold-out crowd but believes the energy will be there. As for the World Cup being hosted for the very first time in Canada, here's what he said.
It's pride. You know, it's nice. It's knowing that the largest sport in the world is being held in the country we love, and it's important for Canadians to understand that.
Explore Edmonton says tonight's game is a huge deal for the city, saying more than $20 million is expected to be injected into the local economy just from one match. Fans are not just from within the province, but across Canada and North America. The match kicks off at 7 p.m. local. Canada will play one more friendly game on June 5th in Montreal against Ireland before opening its World Cup campaign on home soil just a few days later. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Edmonton.
Stocks sank today as the price of oil climbed higher. In Toronto, the TSX lost 34 points. In New York, the Dow gained 46. The Nasdaq added 114. The Canadian dollar is down 1/5 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold fell more than $86 an ounce, and oil gained almost $5 a barrel. A breakthrough in cancer treatment still ahead. How some patients are seeing tumors disappear.
Thank you to Asad Assami for sending this photograph in. This was taken at the Windsor Marina Sunday. Sunset. We said goodbye to May, ushering in meteorological summer with day-to-day warming. Lots of sunshine in the extended forecast, and temperatures are set to hit 30 degrees by Thursday. The next opportunity for rain coming in this weekend.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app. From moment to moment, things change.
Mayday, mayday! We need more crews at this location.
CTV News Windsor.ca is Windsor's #1 source for online news. Watch every story from wherever you are, the moment it happens. Plus exclusive content and must-see viewer video. Don't miss a moment. Windsor's leading online news source, CTV News Windsor.ca.
A perfect day for a walk, run, bike, absolutely anything. Julie joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Julie, gorgeous out there.
Yeah, just picture perfect conditions. We've had low humidity after a banner weekend, more sunshine this week, but you will notice a warming trend, Stefanie, this week. We will see day-to-day warming. Meteorological summer kicking off today, June 1st. And yes, we are enjoying some gorgeous conditions. Temperatures right where we should be for this time of year. You can see our high and our low. Gorgeous to keep the windows open, so nice warm afternoons and cool nights. That continues over the upcoming days. Now, we do have a blocking pattern holding in the upper atmosphere, and that's why our weather pattern hasn't been changing. So we are under the influence of high pressure at the surface and aloft. So what that means is lots of stability rather in our forecast. Now, as we look to Western Canada, they're on the other side of that block, picking up some heavy rainfall in Western Canada, also wind warnings and rainfall continuing. There's even some snow on the back end of that system. Then we get into the heat warning, so you can see how close that is, and that's of course associated with this block. So it looks like the letter Omega, so how it rides high and then drops and rides high again over the Great Lakes. So with that blocking pattern remaining in place, nothing's moving. So again, we remain under the warm side of things, and yes, conditions across the region quite pleasant. Overnight, we'll dip down to about 8 degrees. The skies will be clear through the overnight. As we head out 48 hours, expect clear conditions, beautiful weather heading into tomorrow. But the block will eventually break down. So by Friday, we'll be returning to that southerly wind, and you'll notice the humidity Thursday into Fridays. It's really going to start to creep back in and feel like the low 30s. So next 48 hours, not a whole lot of weather to show you tonight. Just clear conditions, sunshine, and a beautiful fresh breeze tomorrow afternoon out of the north. The forecast high coming in at 24 degrees. As we take you through the next 7, our Enercare forecast for your Wednesday, sunshine and 20 28. We'll hit 31 on Thursday into Friday, and this will start to feel like the mid-30s. But again, comfortable conditions at night over the next few days and lots of sunshine in the afternoon. As we head into the weekend, that's our next opportunity for some rain showers, but daytime highs holding between 27 and 28, and we'll round out the 7-day with a mix of sunny and clouded and a high of 28 degrees. This time of year, though, quite tricky, especially with an air mass like this, because you feel cool and comfortable. Don't forget your sunscreen. You definitely need it. Those sun angles extremely strong this time of year. We have gorgeous long days. If you get a chance to get out for a walk after the show, you should do so. It's going to be beautiful through the evening.
Doctors in the UK are praising trial results from a cancer treatment that's managed to eliminate entire tumors in some patients. Researchers at London's Institute of Cancer says Event Med injection was offered to patients whose cancer had spread, come back, or failed to respond to standard treatments. The drug targets cancer cells and blocks multiple signals that help those cells grow and spread. Results from the clinical trial showed the injection reduced tumor sizes in 43 of the 102 patients treated. In 15 of those cases, the tumors disappeared completely. Experts say the findings are highly encouraging.
New EGFR drugs like amivantamab are showing strong promise in HPV-negative head and neck cancers, and this will hopefully improve response and durability and hopefully improve survival and outcomes so that, many years are possible even when recurrent metastatic disease occurs.
Head and neck cancer is the 6th most common cancer worldwide and affects thousands of Canadians each year. The family of NHL legend Claude Lemieux says his brain will be donated to help research into traumatic injuries. Lemieux, who played on several teams, including the Montreal Canadiens, died last week of suicide. He was 60 years old. His family released a statement saying Lemieux's brain will be donated to Boston University's CTE Center to study the effects of repetitive brain injuries. A Windsor walk appears to be growing in size and in donations as families push to make cystic fibrosis history.
Our goal is to always increase turnout for participants and to have a lot of people understand and get more knowledge about cystic fibrosis because it is a fairly rare disease.
Walks to support the fight against cystic fibrosis took place across the country on Sunday, including at Faro Riverside Miracle Park in Windsor. Organizers say this year's local effort exceeded its $50,000 fundraising goal. Nearly $75,000 was raised, and fundraising is still open until the end of July. It's estimated about 4,400 people across Canada live with cystic fibrosis. The walk is part of a national effort to raise money for more accessible treatments for people living with CF. And that wasn't the only walk which took place on Sunday. Thousands of Canadians laced up their shoes for MS Walk events across the country. The walk in Windsor started at the Riverside Sportsman's Club. The local event raised more than $21,000 as of Sunday, with a goal nationally to raise more than $4.4 million to support Canadians living with MS.
Over 90,000 Canadians live with MS. On average, 12 Canadians are diagnosed every day. That means every 2 hours, someone is diagnosed with MS in Canada.
I feel like it really pushes the game out of reach for a lot of people.
World Cup fever is here, but many fans are staying on the sidelines. Coming up, why many tickets remain unsold. With the FIFA games less than 2 weeks away, plenty of tickets are still available for the World Cup matches in Toronto and Vancouver. Here's CTV's Kamil Karmali on why Canadians say they're holding off on attending and the challenges business face to try to reel them in.
It's been a lifelong goal for Joshua Cateau to watch a FIFA World Cup match in his own backyard, but those dreams dashed with one look at the ticket prices.
I feel like it really pushes the game out of reach for a lot of people who want to be there and want to show up. And it's really disheartening.
Lots of tickets for World Cup matches in both Canadian host cities up for grabs less than 2 weeks out. Canada's first match in Toronto not going for anything cheaper than $3,000, but other games ranging from $600 to just over $1,000, and that's just part of the overall cost.
Hotels are very expensive in Vancouver and Toronto. Airline flights are very expensive right now.
But it's not just the matches that aren't selling out. Vancouver's official viewing party showing large clusters of seats still available to its fan festival. Officials, though, not sweating it.
As people are starting to make and lock in their summer plans, we have quite a bit of confidence that people will secure their seats.
The cheaper option, coming here to bars and restaurants broadcasting the games, but getting official FIFA branding at your establishment, not as easy as it sounds.
You don't want to be necessarily using FIFA's big IP assets, nothing that sort of suggests or even comes close to suggesting that this is an official venue.
The City of Toronto's guidelines say businesses can't use words like FIFA World Cup or show the trophy to reel in customers, with the city able to issue fines or even lay charges, unless they've partnered with FIFA's official sponsors like this Toronto bar.
We have brand partners that are directly associated with FIFA and the World Cup, and obviously it's through them and the tools that they provide that we're kind of bring the whole space together.
Those spaces, likely where these fans will end up.
It's really upsetting to see ticket prices where they are.
With prices still a bit over the top. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
The International Cricket Council Board has suspended Cricket Canada. The council says the suspension will take immediate effect due to serious breaches of its membership obligations. Now, despite the suspension, Canadian players will still be able to compete in sanctioned events. Cricket Canada will have to follow a set of conditions aimed at fixing its governance and administrative issues to restore membership. Prices were not over the top at a massive neighborhood yard sale in South Walkerville. People hunting for everything from furniture to vintage finds. But it also got us thinking, what's the best deal people have ever scored at a yard sale? So we sent CTV Sanjay Maru out to ask bargain hunters about the finds they're still bragging about.
Today I happened to find a practice guitar amplifier for $5 vintage, which is probably worth $130 back in the day. So it was a great find. Can't wait to get home and try it out.
Probably my antique mineral oil rain lamp I found at a yard sale a couple of years ago. I got it for, I think I paid $300, and when I looked online, they're worth probably close to like $800 to $1,000. This couch, this is probably the newest best find.
This is the dream couch. We've been looking for something like this for so long. We got it for $300 here today. Absolutely fantastic, yeah.
And if you had to get it from the store, how?
Oh my goodness, over $1,000, I'd say.
I got a call from my dad once asking me if I wanted like a saxophone, and it was only $10 at a yard sale. And I was like, yeah. And so he bought it, and it turned out to be like a saxophone from the 1960s, and it was like handmade from the U.S. It's like worth like $2,000. It was sick.
You still have it?
Yeah, I still got it.
This pet stroller.
How long ago did you get this?
It was $10. I just got it. This usually would go for like $80, $100. So I'm so happy and excited.
When I was a kid, only had $5 allowance, so we went out and it was a $5 Star Wars vintage alarm clock, worth $80 on eBay. So. Still works in the garage.
Biggest yard sale deal. I'm a full-time magician, and one time I bought a table that would have cost about $350 online. I got it for $6. Put some wheels on it and used it in my stage show for years. It was a great deal.
The 23rd annual Windsor Jewish Film Festival is underway at the Capitol Theatre downtown. The festival opens Sunday and runs until Thursday. Organizers say this year's lineup includes dramas, comedies, and documentaries, all to showcase Jewish voices while offering stories meant to build empathy. Tickets are available online through the Windsor Jewish Film Festival website or in person.
I think this year you're going to see a larger mix of comedy and broad storytelling. I think we're a little tired of feeling sad and having a hard time and having really difficult discussions. Not that you won't find those in there, but I think you're going to find more of a balance this year. Country music fans in Windsor have a big show to look forward to this fall.
So tell me why we even trying to deny this feeling. I feel it, don't
Lee Bryce is bringing his Sunriser tour to the Coliseum on November 19th with special guest Grace Tyler. Bryce has racked up more than 12.5 billion career streams and is known for his chart-topping hits, including Rumor, One of Them Girls, and I Hope You're Happy Now. The Grammy nominee and award-winning country star is also preparing to release his new album, Sunriser, this October. Tickets for the show go on sale Friday at 10 a.m.
It's the return of the 89X Birthday Bash. Celebrate with us on September 4th at the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor with performances from Default, the Bluestones, and Fionn. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a pair of tickets.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. 300 exhibitors, food vendors, live entertainment, and exciting new interactive exhibits in the Kids Zone. This year's Art in the Park has something for everyone. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. Now, Melanie, you have details of a special beautification project today with an ulterior motive.
That's right. About 40 volunteers were out on city streets today as part of the Many Cultures, One Clean Windsor initiative. The effort is led by the Multicultural Council of Windsor and Essex County and its employment program, Talent Connect. Cleanups were taking place in 5 locations across town. Employment specialist Brian Massey says the day is about more than cleaning streets. It's also about helping people build job skills and connect with employers. He says participants receive training in volunteering and workplace readiness as part of the program. And we've got details online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story of note, Melanie, with some impaired driving charges, this in Essex County.
Yes, OPP have charged 2 drivers after separate incidents over the weekend. A 34-year-old man is facing impaired driving charges after getting pulled over in Essex on Saturday. And a 26-year-old man was also charged after a crash in Leamington on Sunday. Both drivers have a court date set for July. And in our social spotlight tonight, country singer Luke Combs brought out some special guests at his Montreal concert. Oh yeah, a song heard at many soccer, basketball, and notably Montreal Canadiens games rang out midway through the show. Habs captain Nick Suzuki and a few other players joined Combs during his classic drinking song, One Too Many. Of course, they shotgun beers while fireworks exploded and the crowd cheered, Stefanie.
Yeah, this is the best for the fans. I know sometimes at certain concerts, say, for example, Drake, you know someone else, special guest, is going to come out. In this case, I don't think they expected all those athletes to come out, but wow, what a moment. You can just hear the craziness that's going on.
Yeah, the support all over the place.
Okay, if anyone has some video they want to share with us, how can they do it?
Yeah, they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text us at 10400.
Okay, that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. A birthday bash for a very special pup. When we return, Winnie continues to inspire and touch people's hearts. Julie joins us one last time with her exclusive 7-day forecast. Julie.
Thanks so much, Stefanie. Our Enercare forecast as we head through the next 7 days featuring the warm, dry conditions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. But look at this day-to-day warming. So we're at 28 by Wednesday, 31 on Thursday, and we could see 32 on Friday. Humidity starts to really increase Thursday into Friday as well, so it'll start to feel like the mid-30s. The next opportunity for rain showers coming in over the weekend with daytime highs between 27 and 28, and we'll round out day 7 with a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 28 degrees. Stefanie, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Melanie, thank you for sticking around because we have a very fun, exciting story to end off the show.
Yes, I love the update on this story. Can't wait.
Okay, so listen to this. Winnie the Roo, the beloved disabled dog born without fully formed front legs, celebrated a major milestone this weekend at Charlotte's Freedom Farm near Dresden. Take a look. Oh, the popular pup turned 5 years old with, of course, a birthday party that drew supporters from across the region. The celebration had originally been planned for last Saturday, but was postponed because of the rain. Farm owner Lauren Edwards says Winnie was showered with treats, toys, and attention, adding that many visitors were meeting the inspirational dog for the very first time. The event featured, of course, a barbecue, probably basketball as well, Melanie, games and plenty of presents, while also highlighting the farm's mission of caring for animals with disabilities. Charlotte's Freedom Farm is now home to 9 dogs who use wheelchairs or prosthetics.
And I think it's really cool for people to see. And Winnie, yeah, like he just jumped right off and he's on 2 legs taking off now. So, but yeah, I think it's really great for people to see them and see how well they do and how they adapt, and seeing the others running around in their wheelchairs. And it's just great reaction from people for sure.
You know, we're describing him as inspirational, and he really is. You just take a look at him, immediately you smile, like all the challenges he's probably gone through, and just to seem so happy, just, oh, exciting.
Yeah. It's amazing how fast he gets around, too.
It really is, and just the fact that, you know, not only Windsor, Essex community, people from all over the region came to celebrate him, like the cutest little road trip. Take the kids, you know, hey guys, let's go see Winnie the Roo and celebrate his birthday, even though you may have never met him before.
It's adorable.
It is. Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca, and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11. Thank you, Melanie.